Hey guys, let me make sure I don't have any food in my teeth. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a talking video about, I guess, YouTube and the YouTube industry and how to make money on social media. All of those touchy subjects that a lot of people honestly do not like to talk about for some reason. I have been wanting to do a video like this for a really long time, but I definitely wanted to make sure that I informed myself correctly before I give you guys any type of advice, just because I know a lot of you guys who do watch me definitely consider my opinion, and I want to make sure that I do give you guys, accurate information and just stuff that has happened to me in the sorry if my lighting is kind of off. I'm missing my softbox on my right side because Ulises took it to his shop, didn't even tell me, and now I feel like all of the lights just coming from like this angle. So in case you guys are wondering why it's a little bit more darker on this side, that is why. He is to blame. But I know that there is a lot of questions that people have, especially on social media, and recently I saw a few people kind of going at it on Twitter, mentioning about how the YouTube world or the social media world is not really a real job. And I feel like being now in this type of industry, I've learned the hard way of how people view you and kind of have a level of respect for you. I have done my fair share of jobs. I've been working since I was 15 years old. I've had a lot of jobs, and I've kept a lot of those jobs for years, and the most recent one was working at a bank. I was there for 5 years, and it wasn't until 2 years ago that I decided to make social media and YouTube my full-time job. And I honestly did not think that it was going to be as hard as it was, and I feel like people don't realize that. So I'm gonna get into all the details and everything. So if you guys are interested, just keep on watching. So first of all, how to start a channel and build your following. So I have been doing this. Everything that I'm gonna be mentioning to you guys is literally based on my own experience. So everybody's answers are obviously going to be different because everybody has their own different experience. But I'm going to tell you guys what worked for me and kind of how this all happened for me. I've been on social media for a while now, and at first it just started off as me posting pictures on Instagram. I would post selfies, I would post my nail pics. By the way, I broke my nail, in case you guys are wondering why I have a weird finger. I broke it on New Year's. So yeah, what a way to start the new year. But I would post like my nail selfies, I would post outfits of the day, and gradually it just started, growing really slowly. But I started Instagram when Instagram literally started. Like when they first announced Instagram was happening, I was on Instagram when it was literally just for iPhones and no Android users. So I started off pretty early on, but like I said, I didn't take it serious. I didn't even know that people made money on social media. I didn't even know that this was a thing. I had a normal 9-to-5 job, and that was my day-to-day life. So I just started, I used it as a hobby. I would just post pictures, and it just kind of happened for me. As far as like tips and tricks, I feel like now in the industry, if you're trying to get into it, it's going to be even harder because everybody wants to be online, on social media, on Instagram. Everybody wants to make money. Nobody wants to work a 9-to-5 anymore, and everybody wants to be their own boss. Especially when you're sitting here following all of these vlog channels, following people's lives, and seeing the luxurious part of it all. People want that, and people want it to happen for them. So it is going to be a lot harder for somebody who is starting off. Now, something that I can suggest for you, because it is possible, and honestly I have seen people grow in a period of like 5 months and then just skyrocketed. Like me, I feel like I've been working for so long, and I'm just like, like it's just like slowly happening for me, and that's okay. Slow and steady wins the race. But I've always thought that it has been consistent. Like I've never just like went up and then dropped or like anything like that. It's always kind of just gradually went up for me, and I'm 100% content and happy with that, because I'm going to show you guys also how I pitch myself to companies to be able to make a living off of this. So advice for somebody who is definitely just starting on right now. Being consistent is probably something that I can recommend the most. Although I am somebody who is not always as consistent as I should be, I do realize that when I am consistent and I am posting every day and I am posting stuff, things are happening quicker for me, you know? So that was something that I lacked, and it was honestly because it was so hard for me to be able to go work at the bank, working 9 to 5, and on top of that coming to edit, record, and vlog for you guys. It was really, really, really hard for me to be able to do both things for you guys and for myself. So finally it came to the realization, like, this isn't what I want to do, and this is what I need to focus on, which was the YouTube and Instagram world. I quit my job 2 years ago and my career has skyrocketed. Although a lot of people don't see the back end of it, a lot of people think I'm just sitting here posting selfies and doing nothing with my life, sitting on my ass. It's a lot more to it, and I feel like in 2019, I feel like we need to really appreciate you know, the content creators who really do take the time to be consistent with their viewers and start realizing that it is an actual job that people wake up to in the morning and, you know, do. And I think that's what's been like the complicated part of it. As far as you trying to start off your channel, I would suggest for you to obviously be consistent and pair up with people, maybe somebody who's also trying to do the same thing as you. You know, share each other, make videos together, stuff like that. My next one would be hashtags. Hashtagging literally your life away. Hashtags back then were a thing, hashtags now are a thing. As long as you're hashtagging, people are going to see your work when they're looking for this specific thing. Also tagging, you know, like the makeup brands that you're working with, that you're posting for. Like, say you post a makeup look and you're wearing a MAC eyeshadow, a Maybelline lipstick, and Born This Way foundation, tag them actually on your face, so when people check out their page, they'll see all of these makeup looks, and who knows, you'll probably get reposted by a makeup brand. Now, if you're not trying to do the makeup brand, you have to start around, like, there's just so much information, but you have to start and you have to build your platform. You have to know what exactly you're trying to do, right? So if you're trying to be in fitness, then you're going to focus on fitness. If you're trying to be a vlog channel, then you have to focus on vlogging every day. If you're focusing on makeup, then you're going to just focus on, you know, makeup and your beauty channel. If you're doing lifestyle vlogging, you just have to realize what you're trying to do. Now, something that I am going to throw out there, if you're just trying to come and do the YouTube stuff because you want to make money and you want to buy yourself a Lamborghini and you want to be famous, completely the wrong mentality to have. This is just not for you. Because most of the people, honestly, that you see on social media, it just happened because they wanted this, they really enjoyed what they did, they enjoyed making videos for people, and you're going to be able to see that through the lens. I feel like you can read when people are just doing it for the money, or when people are actually genuinely doing it because they love it and they enjoy it. And I feel like with my story, like I said, it just happened for me. I never, 100 million years from now, if you would have told me, like, you're going to be on YouTube and, you know, thousands of people are going to follow you, I would say you were crazy, because that's not something that I always thought to myself, you know? Like, when I was little, I used to have a dream that I was going to be, like, famous one day, because I thought that I was going to be like Selena Quintanilla and be a singer, because, like, I tell you guys that I'm low-key, like, a singer. You guys just don't know. No, I'm kidding. But that was like my dream when I grew up. Like, I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be on TV. I was in theater in high school. Like, my dream was to be on TV. That was kind of what I always pictured myself with. The YouTube stuff, I have viewers, so, you know, it kind of worked out for me. Do I consider myself like famous? No, I don't. But I know that I have a lot of people who do watch me and appreciate my content. So, like I said, if you're going into it thinking that you're just trying to, you know, be famous and being recognized and get free stuff, and then you're going in for it for the wrong reasons. You have to really love and appreciate what you do, because it takes a lot of work. And I speak from experience from people around me. You know, I have a circle of friends, family, who they see what I'm doing and they see how it's been working for me, and they see that I'm finally making a living off of it, and that I'm making amazing money, you know. And I feel like that's like the big thing in the YouTube world, money. That's like the thing that everybody always talks about. How much money do you make? YouTubers make so much money, you get paid for doing this. Like, that's what it all revolves around at the just to say the least. Okay, that's usually what people always focus on. And the money is great, don't get me wrong, the money is amazing, and I've been able to establish a lot for myself and for my family. but you really have to enjoy your job. And I think that's like the benefit that I have. When I wake up in the morning, I'm like, damn, I can just be here at home, spend time with my baby, you know, spend as much time focusing on myself and be able to work and make a living off of this. That's the plus for me. The plus for me is the fact that I can wake up every morning and love what I do, because honestly, at my old job, I hated it. I woke up in the morning, I was angry, I would go to work pissed at the world. I was just so mad all the time. Like, why am I here? Why? You know, like that was literally my question every day. Why am I here? Why am I still working here? I freaking hate this job. And it sucks because I loved it at one point. You know what I mean? But when I started doing this, started doing the seminar, started doing, you know, meeting people at my meet and greets and people telling me that I was changing their lives and inspiring them, that's what made me think like, what the hell am I doing with myself? Like, I need to focus on this. And that's when I took that step. Next step to be able to do that is you need to be committed to it. You cannot half-ass this job. You cannot be doing one thing and focusing on the other. You need to be 100% dedicated to growing your YouTube channel, and that is going to be the way that you are going to grow on social media. And mind you guys, this is something that I lack still till this day, because you know what? Life happens. And it's harder when, you know, it's easier when you just head out to a job. When I used to be at the bank, I used to just go to my job, 9 to 5, did what I had to do, came back home, chilled. Now it's like I have to wake up in the morning and get myself to do the work, meet my deadlines, you know, do what I have to do. On top of that, still be a mom, bond with my baby, still have to cook, still have to clean, still have to do everything. And it's hard not wanting to do that when you're at home. If you're like outside, like at your job, you know, you'll be like, oh, I'll do it when I get home. So you're focused on your job. When you're at home doing all of that, it's so freaking hard to not want to just go and clean that up real quick, and then it takes away from your job. So you have to make sure that you have a set schedule, you know, your certain days out of the week. I feel like I'm talking so fast, but I feel like there's just so much information that I have to give you guys. You have to set your schedule aside, let yourself know, like from 9 to so and so, this is what I'm going to be doing, this is what I'm going to be filming, this is what I'm going to be editing, this is what my schedule is going to work, so your life can flow. And like I said, life happens. I'm the worst at scheduling myself, so that's why I'm super consistent sometimes, and then sometimes I kind of slack off, and it's something that I definitely want to work on in 2019, but that's just kind of throwing it out there in the big picture. Let me catch my breath. Okay, now the big question that everybody always wants to know: how do you make money? How do YouTubers get paid? How do you make this your living? So everybody's questions, everybody's answers are going to be completely different, because everybody has different sources of income. Now, the basics. I'm going to tell you guys how I make money and how I got companies to reach out to me and so on and so forth. So now, the income that comes to me with social media is based off of YouTube, sponsored posts on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, swipe up stories. Those are considered sponsored posts. YouTube sponsored videos. That's completely when a brand reaches out, you do a sponsored video specifically for them on your YouTube channel or a YouTube mention. They both have different prices. Your coupon codes, I don't know if I said coupon codes, so it's YouTube, Instagram. I wrote it down. I'm gonna get confused if I don't. I'm gonna be like repeating myself, and I don't want to miss any. Post sponsored videos, your YouTube channel. I make extra money off of my merch, which is probably my, like, last year, that's where I made like 80% of my income. My merch was ridiculously like amazing. So my merch was something that definitely helped me. And then my seminars, that was a source of income that I had prior to 2018 that definitely got me to be comfortable enough to be able to dedicate myself to YouTube full-time. So how to get companies to recognize you. Like I said before, companies used to reach out to influencers. If you're already not on their PR list, then they're not probably going to reach out to you until you actually send an email. I have sent out a few emails myself, but usually it is to just get makeup and have this brand know you. Like, it's not going to message like Maybelline and be like, hi, my name is Evettexo, if you pay me so and so, I will, you know, talk about your lipstick. Like, it doesn't work like that. Big name brands usually are the ones to reach out to the influencers. So but one advice for somebody who is starting, I would definitely recommend to at least email them, let them know about yourself. Send a very professional email explaining who you are, what you do, what you're trying to build, how you can help them, and how your following has grown. Of course, your main focus is getting your following first. You know, unfortunately, brands, they do care about numbers because that's what's going to sell. You know, if you have 5,000 followers and you have somebody who has 500,000 followers, they're obviously going to gravitate towards the person who has 500,000 followers because they're the one who have 500,000 people watching them day to day, if that makes sense. So your first step is building your following and then having the, you know, company reach out. Like I said, you know, when people say all you do is post on social media, like, do you know how hard it is to grow a following on social media? And on top of that, have people who actually respect you enough to trust your judgment. Like, if I say this cream is amazing, you know, like, you guys are gonna trust me, right? Like, you guys know that I wouldn't lie to you guys. And that's one thing that I built for myself, that I am always going to make sure that you guys come first, because I'm not going to lose that respect from you guys over a couple of $1,000s for a paycheck. You get what I'm saying? This is why I told you guys that I don't ever work with like tummy tea or like the mint gummy drops or anything like that, because like, I know that a lot of those things are just to be paid for, you know what I mean? Not throwing shade at any influencer who works, because everybody's making their own money the way that they want to make their money. But I personally want to be able to know that you guys have my ultimate I want to make sure that I have your guys' ultimate respect, you know what I mean? That's like the main picture, you know, here for me at least. Like I said, everything that I'm talking about is based off of me and my experience. So you have to make sure that you sell yourself, and you have to email this person, let them know who you are. So something that has worked for me, and the way that I like to pitch myself whenever a brand is reaching out or I'm charging a certain amount of money based on my followers, based on my views, and based on my interactions. So although I have not hit the 1 million mark on Instagram or on YouTube, I've learned to sell myself to where I know that the person who is, you know, trying to hire me is going to know that their product or whatever they're trying to have me promote is going to be bought or is going to be known. You know what I mean? So I don't ever let that big number unmotivate me or make me feel like I am less than somebody else just because I don't have that 1 million, because I know what my interaction is. So you can see somebody who has 1 million followers and then somebody who has 500,000 followers. You base it off of somebody's analytics, okay? So analytics are how many likes you get, how much interaction you get, all that stuff. And this is why I always like to be very interactive with you guys, because I want to make sure that you guys trust me. You know, like, I'm here to be your guys' friend and for you guys to relate to me and know that you can trust my judgment. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure that when I'm interacting with you guys know that, like, I have this time. This is my job. I want to be able to keep you guys, you know, happy. And if you guys have questions, although I don't 100% always respond to my comments, usually when it's like, oh, you're bomb, you're amazing, you're like, you know, I'll like them, but I never go and I don't say thank you to every single person. You get what I'm saying? Like, I usually like the comment, but if people ask me a question like, what are you wearing, or where did you buy that, like, those questions I'll answer, you know what I mean? Because they're actual questions that people want to know. So that's what I mean by interacting. So when I sell myself, I usually say, you know, you can see somebody with 1 million followers, and I won't throw like anybody on the bush, but I just say, imagine yourself, any person who has 1 million followers, and then imagine yourself somebody who has 500,000 followers. Obviously, I'm the 500,000 followers, even though we're at 800 now. We are focusing on the 500,000. I'll tell them, I only have 500,000 followers, but if you see my interaction, you see my likes, you see how many people comment on my posts, and you see how active people are on my social media, That's what I can do for you. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes you'll see that person with 1 million and then, you know, they'll get the same likes that somebody who has half of that. So it's like, I don't like when companies base it off of that big number. And that's what I always do when I sell myself. I tell them, don't be discouraged by me not having 1 million followers, because I can promise you that my girls are loyal AF, and I have honestly you guys to thank for that, because when I tell you guys that I know you guys go hard for me, I know you guys go hard for me, because that comes into my other source of income, which is my coupon codes. Anytime that I promote coupon codes, whether it be with any makeup brand, any type of thing, I say save 10%, you know, use Evettexo for 10%, use pizza for 10%. Those are my two codes, Evettexo and pizza. And then Fashion Nova, it's XO Evett. I hate when like companies give me like different coupon codes, because I know people get confused, but you know, those are usually my codes. And when I tell you guys that you guys go hard for me, I mean, because I can see that like every month. I obviously, you know, when you use somebody's coupon code, if you spend $100, the influencer gets 10% of what you spent. You know what I mean? So anytime you guys are out there spending money using influencers' coupon codes, you're making us money. So obviously I'm getting a paycheck every month. So I know how much you guys use my coupon code. You know what I mean? So that's something that helps me when I am working with brands, and I let them know, like, look, I can post, you know, a caption stating that this is awesome, and, you know, use my code 10%, and my girls are gonna be like, wow, you know, like if Blanca's using it, then definitely it must be good, you know? So I know that my girls trust me, and I feel like I'm so happy and I'm so fortunate that I have your guys' loyalty, because I can see it and I know how much you guys support me, and none of that stuff goes unnoticed, because you guys know that I thank you guys every single day of my life, because I know that you guys go hard for me, and I don't need 1 million followers to prove that I'm successful. You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody determines success differently. I'm just here trying to post videos for you guys, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, still till this day, even though this is my job, I love what I do. I love, you know, vlogging for you guys, and I love posting my life for you guys. I love posting videos for you guys, and I love interacting with you guys in the comments, and you guys telling me, you know, your guys' stories, and us getting really personal, because we do get personal. Me and my girls, like, and my guys, we do get personal, you know, because I get DMs on the daily, and yeah, so I'm just talking a lot because I'm telling you guys there's just so much information. But coupon codes is something that influencers obviously use to make income as well. Now, YouTube. Anytime that you post a YouTube video, you are going to be getting views. YouTube pays you per view, and it has to reach a certain limit. Like, if you just press on the video, and if you get out of it, that doesn't count as a view. Like, you actually have to watch a good amount of the video. I'm not sure of the minutes, but you do have to watch a good amount of the video for it to be counted as an actual paid view. So obviously monthly, based on your views, you get your revenue, and then that's how you get your paycheck from YouTube. So based on YouTube, YouTubers make a lot of money. You guys know that. You guys know that. And it's still, honestly, it baffles me sometimes, and it makes me wonder, like, how do people not know this? But people always ask, like, how do people have all this stuff? What do they do? What do they do that makes them so much money? Honestly, it's YouTube. YouTube pays amazing, guys. Like, YouTube is a platform that has given people the benefit to be able to work from home. People wouldn't quit their jobs if YouTube didn't pay well. That's what you guys need to understand. I don't want to go into how much exactly you make, because everybody varies, you know? Like, I can't sit here and be like, I made so and so money, because it might change the second month, you know? It's not always the same amount, but it is enough for people to be able to fortunately quit their job and make a living off of. So off of YouTube, you get paid per your views, and then now you're transitioning to getting paid for sponsored videos. And this is where the big bucks start coming in. So if you see YouTubers working with huge companies, talking about big name brands, talking about sponsored videos, they're the ones that are making the big bucks. And I'm talking about big brand deals of thousands and thousands of dollars. I still till this day get really shocked sometimes with how much money is offered to influencers. It's crazy to me, especially from somebody who came from nothing to, having a little something. It's definitely an eye-opener and a blessing within itself. I have had the honor to be able to, work with big name brands already. And like I said, I've been doing this for only 2 years full time, and I couldn't even begin to explain how much my life has changed in these 2 years. So with sponsored videos, basically either the brand will message you, let you know this is what we're paying for this specific video, this is what you have to mention. And brands are very, very, very particular about sponsored video. Based on that, the influencer has to make that decision on whether it's okay. You get what I'm saying? So honestly, I like to say that there is a lot of influencers who honestly do say honest reviews, even though everybody thinks everybody's just doing it for the money. I honestly feel like, based on videos that I have seen from other influencers, like I feel like they're genuinely being honest about their opinions, and it's not just about the money, because I have turned down a few good paid deals because I don't agree with the product, or I don't agree with what it is. And usually when a company is reached out, I need to be able to try the product first, and if I do genuinely like it, I will do the deal. But if I don't, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, because you know who looks bad at the end? I do. Because when you guys try the product, after you guys buy it, you're gonna come and fucking bite me in the ass and tell me, what the fuck did you recommend to me, Blanca? You're a dumbass, And I'm not trying to get dragged. That's like the last thing that I'm trying to do. A couple $1,000s is not going, I'm not going to risk my reputation or what I've built for a few $1,000s. And that's something that I don't take lightly. And every influencer is obviously going to be different. People are going to, do sponsored videos based on what they want to do their sponsored videos. But like I said, this is where the big bucks come in. So now for somebody who asked recently, there's influencers who have managers and there's influencers who don't have managers. Now, my input on that: I never had a manager. I always did everything for myself. I always did everything just me. I worked for myself. Anytime that I would reach out to companies, I would use like a representative saying like, this is what I'm doing, this is my client, to sell myself for it. But everything was always me on the back end. Now moving forward, late of last year, I decided to bring in a manager to help me with my life. And I was very, 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 very skeptical at first, because I hear so many horror stories about managers and how they screw you over and they take all of your money and they basically just want to make money off of you. That's what I always had that's what I always heard. So the way that it started for me, I had a huge brand deal and I didn't know how to answer it. I didn't know how to basically reply and ask for how much to get paid. I didn't know any of it. I didn't want to F it up. I didn't want to mess up my brand deal, and I didn't want to ruin things for myself. So what I did was I reached out to one of my friends and I told her, hey, what do I do? Like, I got this brand deal. What do I say? How to reply? How much do I ask for? And she was shook. She was like, what the hell? She's like, they reached out to you. This is a huge brand deal. Like, let me send you over to my manager. So I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay. So I was kind of like, oh, like, I don't know, should I not? Because I had always heard horrible horror stories about this. And, I ended up getting in contact with her. She killed my brand deal, guys. Like, she killed it out the park. I was like, they're gonna pay me what? Like, I was shook. I was like, oh my God, what have I been doing with my life? You know what I mean? So after having numerous conversations, numerous phone calls, numerous just back and forth, I came to the decision that I wanted to add her to my team, and I was very, 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 very particular. So this is something that I'm going to give you guys an advice for. If you are somebody who is a smaller channel starting off, you do not need a manager. Okay, you do not need somebody to give you a following. You can build that on yourself. You are the platform. You can do that on your own. But once you have reached a certain level where big name companies want to work with you, I would definitely recommend to put somebody in, because they will ask for something you will never ask for. And I don't believe that having a manager pushes anybody away from, you and your platform. These companies are going to pay you what you're worth. And I was lowballing myself for a really long time, until late last year. That's when I decided to realize that I've been charging way less. And even though I thought I was charging out the freaking ass, I really wasn't charging what normal influencers charge. So, she had a good conversation with me, and she said, this is what you need to be charging, this is what you need to be doing, this is what you need to be doing. And they do take a percentage from your deals, but she is only taking a percentage of what she is bringing into me. She is not touching anything that I have worked on my own, on my hard work money, my views. None of that stuff is being touched by her, besides what she is bringing into me, if that makes sense. So, she brings me a brand deal. Of course, she's going to get her cut because she brought that to me. But I'm talking about, they're bringing in brand deals for me that I would have never brought in for myself. Okay, so I can sit here and wait and have a couple of jobs, be stingy and be like, I want all my money to me because I worked hard for that, or get that little help, actually huge help, because my income completely is like from here to here, like in a period of 2.5 seconds, because they are pitching me, and you need to be really smart. So my advice on this aspect of management, once you are at that level where you are getting, recognition from big name brands, is read your contract. I went to a lawyer and I had my contracts read, just like I do for any type of product. Anytime that a brand asks you to sign a contract, make sure you always get it reviewed by a lawyer, an attorney. Make sure it's always reviewed and that you know exactly what you're signing. So everything that stood out to me, I had a conversation about, and I told her, this is what I feel comfortable with, this is what I don't feel comfortable with, and I need you to explain to me what is this, and I need you to explain what is that to me, so you completely understand. Do not just sign your life away, because this is where people get screwed, because people will take advantage. People know that influencers are making thousands of dollars, and they will take advantage of that. So I obviously, with this manager, was recommended by somebody who is also in the industry, and after seeing her list of clients, I was honored that she even wanted to work with me, because if you guys knew who she works with, you guys would be like, damn, like this person's representing you, and I felt like amazing, thank you. And like I said, so far my experience with her has been amazing. I don't want you guys to take this advice like you guys need a manager, because like I said, you guys don't. I started off for many years without one, and it wasn't until recently that I decided to add somebody to my team, and it has been an amazing experience. And I've had such a great recommendation list of people who I've spoken to, and I know that this person, my manager, is very, very, very respected in the industry, and that's something that I definitely admire. So that's just something that I kind of wanted to throw out there, because that's like a mix. And if any type of influencer, up into the biggest influencers, like huge influencers, they all have management teams. It's usually people who are just starting off that don't. And it's for a reason, because they're the ones who are pitching you to all of these brands. You are their client, and you're making them money. So like I said, make sure you read your contract and make sure that you're not selling your life and everything. Separate what you've already worked hard for and what they are helping you with. You have to separate those two and make sure that you guys come to an understanding of what is going to be for what person. So yeah, so I think I pretty much touched upon like the main things. How people make money on social media, coupon codes, sponsors. So sponsored posts, those are usually paid by post. You could either be on a contract with a company where for like 6 months or a year, you will post 5 pictures for them, and then they'll pay you every month for that next couple of months. Or you can be paid per post. So like they'll reach out and be like, we'll pay you so and so money to post this one picture, tag us, and that's it, you know. So that's how people make money on Instagram, as well as swipe up links. So they each have their own price, like I said, based on your following, based on your interaction, based on your likes. That's where you're going to be able to determine how much money you can make. So everybody's income is always different. Some YouTubers make way more money than others, and some make way more money than others, you know what I mean? So everybody is making their own type of money, but this industry is honestly unbelievable of the opportunities that you can have here. Now, once you've already established all of that, and once you've already, you know, you have your following, you're making money, you're doing it, what next, you know? Now this is where the big projects come. You start seeing influencers partnering up with collabs, working with stuff. I started my little merch by myself, and honestly it's been amazing. I've made such great huge just impact off of my merch. And next is my huge project that I've mentioned before, but I'm not mentioning it out loud, because when I do tell you guys in a few weeks, I want you guys to just be like, oh my god, we've been waiting for this, you know. So I do have something launching within the next couple of weeks, and I'm super excited for it. And this is something that I've worked so hard for, and that's where the bigger projects start coming in. So now, as far as managing all of that stuff, okay, so working at the bank that I worked at before definitely taught me how to be really smart with my money. So a lot of people always throw like low blows at me sometimes on social media, and they'll be like, oh, like you haven't done anything, like you've been on here for years and you're still like doing the same stuff, you're not even growing, and you're probably broke as fuck, trying to pretend like you're not. Like, I get stuff like that all the time, and I honestly feel, because I don't flaunt everything, you get what I'm saying? So my view on money is I want to be comfortable, okay? And I want to be able to know that I'm being smart about my money. My biggest advice for somebody who is in this industry, I'm not trying to tell you how to spend your money, but don't spend all of your money. Do not spend all of your earnings. Save your money. I've always thought in the back of my head, I'm 27 years old. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this for. I don't know how long I want to be posting my life on social media. I want to make sure that when I decide to not work doing this anymore, that I planned accordingly. I may not work at a normal corporation, but I have a 401k, I have an IRA for my retirement, I have savings for my kids, because I will be having more children, and I will be making sure that my family is taken care of. I want to be comfortable in case of an emergency. You never know, life happens, and as quickly as you can have everything in life, you can lose everything in life. And I want to make sure that I have a backbone, you know, ready for that challenge. And although I treat myself to expensive things, because I know you guys aren't dumb, you guys see that I do buy expensive things sometimes. Every time that I get a sponsorship, or I make a big brand deal, or I get a big paycheck, I don't know, I will splurge and I will buy myself a nice pair of sneakers or heels, and or a purse. You know, those are my weakness. I love sneakers. I love you know, name brand shoes. I love name brand purses. I love, my favorite brand's Louis Vuitton. Like you guys know, I love designer purses. And that's what I like to spend my money on every so often, you know? And that's kind of like a treat to myself. Like, you've been working hard, here's a bonus check. That's what I do to splurge, you know? And everybody splurges, like I said, everybody can do whatever the hell they want with their money. But if you guys want my honest advice, it's all so nice, and it's sometimes very overwhelming when you see so much money coming in sometimes that you're just kind of like, you want to spend it all and you want to, you know, do all that. Like, I treat my family all the time, my friends, they're always taken care of. Like, everybody around me knows that I got them no matter what. Like, I got it, you know what I mean? And that's something that they don't even take advantage of. Like, they're like, Blanca, chill, relax, you know? But I like to be able to do that for people. Same thing for myself. But you have to also make sure that you are prepared for your future, okay? And I want to be smart about that. And I don't need to show you guys that I'm, you know, balling out of control and that I could afford a Lamborghini, you know? Like, that's not what's important to me. And like I said, no shade to anybody who has a Lamborghini or, like, you know, really expensive stuff like that, because you guys can, you know, people work hard, they want to treat themselves. But to me, that's not important. And I feel like that's why people are always like, this bitch is broke but because she doesn't buy anything, you know? Like, she doesn't have like a mansion house or, you know, all this and stuff. But it's just because I don't want any of that, you know what I mean? Like, everybody can think that I'm whatever, and that's fine with me, you know, because I know what I've built for myself. I know what I'm planning for, and I know what life I want to give my kids, my family, and my future, you know? Because like I said, social media might be here forever, so for myself at least, it might not, you know what I mean? Who knows? Like I said, anything can happen, and as quickly as you can get it, quickly you can lose it. And I'm not about to pretend like I'm up here and, you know, like, you have to stay level-headed. That's just like something that I've always taken very to heart. And I have my dad for sure and my mom to thank for that, because they're the reason why I always continue to be very grounded and appreciative of everything that is given to me. That sometimes whenever I see things, I literally sit there and I'm like, why me? You know, like, I sit there and I'm like, why is this happening for me? Like, how did this happen for me? You know, why am I the person that's doing this? You know what I mean? Like, I always sit here and I question myself all the time. Like, it's just too good to be true. When in reality, I've worked my ass off, you know, and I've worked really hard. Like I said, everybody can interpret what they want, because I get a lot of low blows all the time. People telling me like, you're not where this person is at. This person just started and they passed you up. This person gets so many more followers than you. Oh my God, you want to be this person so bad. Honestly, like, this is the world, and then this is me and my family and my friends and my career and my dog and my life, and like, this is us right here. I don't care about everything that's going on in the world, you know? Like, people buy stuff and I'm like, you popping, girl, like, you're gonna look bad as fuck in that car, you know? That's like, I see it and I'm like, damn girl, you're kill it, like, do what you gotta do, you know? But that's not me. Like, I don't need that, you know? Like, I don't ever see people like being envious, you know? I don't ever see like, damn, I need to go do that now, like, I need to go get that now, I need to go and fix that. Like, no, you know, I'm doing things at my own pace. I'm doing things because I like to do these things, and I like to do all these stuff. I love vacations. I love going on vacation. I love throwing parties. You guys know that I love fucking throwing parties, and that's the things that mean the most to me. But I can spend time with my friends, building memories, and building all of those things, and living in the moment. And then an occasional Louis Vuitton bag. But yeah, I hope that I answered, honestly, most of the questions. I think that I kind of nailed it with everything, as far as like starting off, how people make money on social media, how I, at least this was like my story, like how I've done it, and how I've maintained it, and kind of the career that I've built for myself. Now, if you're somebody who's watching and you don't agree with, you know, why people make money on social media, you know, it's just because you don't understand it, and just don't knock someone down for what they're trying to do. A job is a job. Whether you work at a street corner selling flowers, whether you work in the field, whether you work at a bank, whether you work at, you know, in a fast food restaurant, whether you work at the mall, like anywhere that you work, if you're providing time and you're making an income and you're providing for your family, it's a job. And it all requires hard work, and it all requires dedication, and everybody should just start being a little bit more nicer to people and realize that everybody's interests are different. Everybody's out here just trying to make it. We're all trying to be successful in our own way. And the biggest advice that I can say to anybody trying to do this is just focus on you and your growth and nobody else's. Nobody else's, because there's always going to be somebody doing better than you, no matter what. No matter what, there's always going to be somebody else doing better than you. And that's something that you always have to remind yourself. But good luck to everybody. If you guys are trying to start a YouTube channel, build some thick skin, because there's some haters out there that are going to try to bring you down. Build some thick skin, get your hustle on, work hard, bring that money in, and enjoy life. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want any type of videos like this on any other type of topics, let me know. I would be more than happy to help you guys. And I will see you guys on my next video. Love you guys.
Baby, 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 don't you know yet? I've been on a high ever since we met.